I was only 17 when my father passed away. His death wasn't just a loss. It was the earthquake that tore my world apart. My father wasn't an ordinary man. He built his fortune from scratch, turning a tiny hardware store into a real estate empire worth $154 million. Everyone respected him, but when he died, I quickly realized respect doesn't transfer into loyalty. The day after his funeral, I sat at the long dining table in our mansion. The mahogany wood shining under the chandelier, though the air felt colder than usual. Across from me sat my stepmother, Victoria. She was dressed in black silk, with diamonds on her wrist that caught the light as if mocking me. She had married my father just 6 years ago, when I was 11. Since then, I'd always felt she was more interested in my father's money than in the family. And that morning, she didn't even hide it anymore. "You need to understand something," she said, sipping her espresso. "Your father's money isn't yours. Not a single cent. You're just a child, and children shouldn't dream of inheriting fortunes." Her smile widened as if she was savoring the cruelty. I clenched my fists. Dad wouldn't leave me with nothing. He cared about me more than anyone else. That's when she laughed. Loud, almost hysterical, echoing through the house. "Oh, sweet boy," she said, wiping fake tears of amusement. "Your father told me himself. He didn't trust you with money. He said you were irresponsible, reckless, and too naive. Everything belongs to me now." Her words cut deeper than knives. My chest burned with anger, but fear lurked beneath. What if she was telling the truth? A week later, the lawyer summoned us to his office for the reading of the will. I entered with a storm inside me, but when the lawyer opened the folder, Victoria leaned back in her chair, legs crossed, smirking as if she already knew the outcome. The lawyer cleared his throat. "As per Mr. Harrison's final testament, his estate valued at $154 million is hereby divided." Victoria's smile stretched wider, with a substantial portion going to his wife, Victoria Harrison. She winked at me, and the remainder in trust to his son, Daniel Harrison, to be accessed fully upon his 25th birthday, provided he completes a university degree and maintains lawful conduct. Her face froze. I almost jumped out of my seat. I wasn't disinherited. My father had protected me. He had planned everything. But Victoria wasn't finished. She slammed her hand on the table. "This is absurd. That money is mine. Daniel is just a child. He'll waste it all." The lawyer shook his head calmly. "This is Mr. Harrison's legal will. It cannot be contested without significant grounds." Her face turned red, then pale. She glanced at me with eyes full of venom, whispering, "Enjoy your little victory, boy. This isn't over." From that day, life inside the mansion became hell. Victoria controlled everything: food, bills, the staff. She wanted me to feel powerless, to give up, to sign away my rights. She'd leave threatening notes on my desk. People disappear when money's at stake. She'd cut off my credit cards, hoping I'd beg her for help. But I didn't break. One night, I overheard her on the phone in the study. Her voice was sharp. "Yes, the boy has no idea. By the time he turns 25, everything will already be gone. The offshore accounts are ready." My heart raced. Offshore accounts? She was planning to steal it all before I ever saw a penny. I started digging. Late at night, I searched her files, her emails, her safe. And what I discovered shocked me more than I could have imagined. She wasn't just draining money. She had forged documents, falsified transfers, and even bribed one of my father's old business partners. But the biggest twist came when I found an envelope labeled "Confidential" to my son, Daniel. Inside was a letter from my father. "Daniel, if you're reading this, it means Victoria has shown her true colors. I knew she would. That's why I left hidden accounts under your name, separate from the estate. You'll find the details with Mr. Caldwell, my oldest friend. Trust him. And son, remember, strength isn't in wealth, it's in wisdom." Tears blurred my vision. My father hadn't doubted me. He had prepared me. The next day, I met Mr. Caldwell, who confirmed everything. He handed me documents to accounts worth over $40 million that Victoria couldn't touch. She thought she had me cornered, but she had no idea of my father's secret plan. The final showdown came sooner than I expected. Victoria confronted me after realizing some funds were missing. Her voice shook with rage. "You think you've won? You're nothing without me. I made this family look respectable." I looked her dead in the eyes. "No, you made this family look greedy, and you're going to pay for it." I reported everything to the authorities. The forged signatures, the illegal transfers, the offshore schemes. The investigation was brutal, but the evidence was undeniable. Within months, Victoria was arrested for fraud and embezzlement. Her diamonds, her silk dresses, her arrogant laugh, all gone. And me? I stood at my father's grave, holding his letter once more. "Dad, you were right," I whispered. "Wisdom over wealth. You didn't just leave me money, you left me the strength to fight." Backhand index pointing right, and that's how my stepmother, who laughed in my face and told me I'd get nothing, ended up losing everything herself. The will didn't just reveal the truth about inheritance. It revealed the truth about loyalty, greed, and the kind of man my father wanted me to become.